Hello and welcome. It feels like minus 20 outside and we need a warmer topic from warmer clients. Business immigration from South Africa to Canada. Stay tuned.
Just a quick reminder before we start. Please note that whatever you hear in these live sessions or any content you see on social media by Sobirovs law firm is general information only and not legal advice. While we may use certain real-life scenarios or legal cases for learning purposes, it is important to remember that this does not constitute a legal opinion. For personalized legal advice, please consult with your lawyer or hire a Canadian immigration lawyer. Now, let's get back to our show.
Before we delve into our topic today, as usual, we will bring you news pieces and information that is relevant to our business immigration audience. News number one, the piece number one, comes from Globe and Mail, one of the biggest publishers of news in Canada. And I strongly suggest that you read this piece. This is compiled by economists, academicians, and investors about what's coming in 2024. The topics covered in this piece are very substantive and very in-depth with lots of charts, which I like a lot. So you can browse these topics, and the most interesting one for me is population and immigration. I strongly suggest, and the link will be below. Thank you, Global Mail, for this kind of insights that you compiled for the benefit of the audience. News number two, recently Immigration Minister Mark Miller has been giving a series of interviews about how to tame the immigration, the non-permanent immigration into Canada. And in recent interviews, according to CBC News, Ottawa may rein in temporary resident numbers as housing concerns intensify. And the debate about immigration and housing is intensifying. I've been listening to podcasts on my way to office today, and you want to read this piece and also listen to Minister Mark Miller's responses on what's going to come in the first quarter or first half of 2024. And the last piece is, unfortunately, this is on the gray side, not the good news for potential immigrants, but the first ever express entry draw of 2024 is not very optimistic. As you can see, on January 10, there was a draw with no program specified, and 1,500 people were invited to become permanent residents in Canada, and the CRS score was in the skies. To be honest, 546. You have to be a superhuman being to score this, or you have to have Canadian education plus Canadian work experience or even Canadian job offer. So if you go through this draws in the last 12 months, we went in the no program specified category. We went as low as around 480s. So this is again a big challenge for those who are trying to immigrate to Canada through express entry. This is by design. To my mind, my analysis tells me that this is by design, is being done by the government to prepare potential immigrants inside Canada through education, work experience, and whatnot, and then allow them to become permanent residents. I have not very optimistic forecast for CRS score to go down if it starts with 546. Even if it goes down 100 points, which is unrealistic, it can be around 450, which we have to see during the year. And the whole immigration debate that is going on that has started the new year. Stay tuned, we will bring you more insights as we go.
Are you constantly on the move, managing your business, and looking for a convenient way to stay informed about expanding your business to Canada? Look no further. Introducing Speaking of Canada, the podcast that keeps you in the loop on all things related to Canadian business immigration, delivering the latest news and valuable tips and captivating interviews, no matter how busy your schedule gets. Speaking of Canada has got you covered.
So let's talk about business immigration through business immigration from South Africa to Canada for entrepreneurs, and we will focus on with an objective of getting permanent residence. Of course, there are certain programs that I will highlight that will get you directly to permanent residence, but most of them go through work permit tunnel, so to say, and become permanent resident. So business immigration for South African entrepreneurs. First and foremost, Canada is a very attractive gateway to new markets for South African business owners. is a welcoming stance towards international entrepreneurs is a big plus. Canada has robust economies so far. With all the downfall that we are experiencing, it's still one of the leading economies in the world. Political stability, yes, we will have elections in 2025, but so far so good. We will, more or less, either this will be liberals or conservatives. Both of them support immigration in certain different levels. And it's a multicultural society. South Africans are present in Canada. They've been contributing to this economy with their skills, knowledge, and expertise. There's a strong bilateral relations between two countries. Lots of export of South African goods to Canada and know-how in mining and other high technology sectors from Canada to South Africa. According to Statistics Canada, around 5,000 South Africans enter the Canadian immigration system each year. And this trend, as I noticed in our case files, is increasing. We have a number of South African clients that we will bring a success story of one of them. And they score very high because English is one of their, mother language, mother tongue, in addition to Afrikaans. And they score high in point-based system that I mentioned earlier under Express Entry, and very successful in pursuing education and work experience, as well as permanent residence in Canada, through many suitable immigration programs. They run successful startups, which we will focus on today, and traditional businesses in Canada. So, according again to Statistics Canada from 2021, 90% of South African applicants for the startup visa programs were accepted. So this is, I think, the top country in terms of rate of acceptance under startup visa program. Startup visa program, number one in terms of obtaining permanent residence. It's aimed at entrepreneurs with innovative business ideas, and I'm sure South Africans, including Elon Musk, has a lot of ideas that they can bring to Canada. Eligibility criteria is very straightforward. You need to secure support from designated organizations, which we can help in facilitating. Benefits at the end of the tunnel, you will get into permanent residency status and access the thriving business ecosystem and global market outreach. While PR is taking a long time, this is the latest processing times that we checked yesterday. While your PR may take longer time, around 37 months, it's more than 3 years, unfortunately, but the work permit portion is faster. So you can come to Canada on a work permit and start working on your startup visa. At this stage, let's listen to James Wiles, a South African entrepreneur who has been very successful in his immigration to Canada. Let's take a listen to his story.
My name is James Wiles. I was born and raised in South Africa. Did a bit of traveling, and that's how I discovered Canada. What I've been doing for the last couple years is technology startups, so specifically doing software as a service applications based out of South Africa. So I've really been committed to the startup experience for the last 3 or 4 years now. So basically we create technology for buildings. So it's a prop tech startup. And what we're doing is we're trying to find ways of incorporating and connecting the software world, like the internet, to the physical world. So we use innovative things like IoT devices, QR codes, NFC, RFID. So just small little connection points in the physical world that connects to our software. Being a South African, we have a very difficult time getting visas for many, many countries. Coming to Canada, they were strict. They were very diligent with regards to the process of what you have to do, but it was very fair and it seemed quite rule-based. So if you followed the rules and you did what you were supposed to, it seemed like if you just did the right thing, it would work. I think Canada had a very practical approach to it. So I started dealing with the team at Sobirovs a little bit late into my process. I was trying quite a few different things, but not necessarily having that focused, experienced route of what is the correct thing to do based on my unique position of where I'm coming from and what I'm trying to achieve. So after my initial consultation, we identified what would be a good strategy to come to Canada. And after about a week, we began the process of putting a proper case together for my immigration status and my immigration reasons. And then we had to go to work on a business plan. The business plan was quite a lot of work, but actually Sobirovs assisted in that regard as well. So I was very grateful for that, because I'm not the best at admin. I can write code, but writing words is a bit more tricky. So we definitely put something together that was very polished at the end of the day, and we submitted it. This was about following maybe 2 weeks of consultation and gathering all the paperwork. In my particular case, we submitted it as somebody who's a software engineer, so it was an expedited process due to Canada's desire to bring innovative, skilled people to Canada. And because of that and the approach that we took with Sobirovs' advice, we actually managed to get the work permit miraculously within 2 weeks. So this is much faster than what my expectation was, based on what other people have experienced as well. But I think it was definitely because of the strong case and the particular advice that I got from the experienced individuals at Sobirovs Law. Yeah, I can't recommend Sobirovs more highly for anyone looking to move to Canada and do their startup journey in a proper developed economy, to first do a consultation and develop a proper strategy with you guys first.
So as you can see, if you are coder and coding specialist, excuse me, I'm under the weather. If you are a coding specialist and you do your code best, you do you, we do your business immigration. So throw your business immigration file to us. As you can see, James was, it's an honor for us to help South African entrepreneurs and innovators to bring their great ideas to Canada. So next program that we can highlight is provincial nominee programs. Almost all Canadian provinces have a program for entrepreneurs. And through PNPs, Provincial Nominee Program Entrepreneurship Stream, provinces nominate you for permanent residence. So that allows you to increase your points if you go through express entry. Many examples of provinces with entrepreneurial streams, British Columbia, Alberta, Ontario, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, New Brunswick, and all others other than Nunavut. Nunavut does not have a PNP, unfortunately. Diversity of opportunities are tailored to different business needs and provincial economies. So each province is almost like an independent economy. They have a lot of jurisdictional rights and freedoms. So you need to learn each province, and we have a very detailed guidelines on our website. You want to check it out at sobirovs.com. And please don't forget that it's a two-stage process. Work permit plus you need to perform under a performance agreement that you sign with a respective province. And then if provinces are happy, or the specific province is happy, then they get you nominated to federal government. A nomination by Canadian province, as I said, can boost your CRS score, and which is hard, as we mentioned earlier, which is hard to attain for those who are over 40 years old and they have weak language skills. PNP is a great way to start your Canadian life as a business owner and make an income. You can start a new business, or you can buy an existing business in Canada and retain jobs for Canadians. One of the downsides, however, is that there's a net worth requirement that you have to prove as a part of the deal. Now, the process is very straightforward. You choose the PNP program that is suitable for you, and then you do your performance, and then apply through directly through the chosen PNP or through express entry. There are different processing times. If you go through express entry, it's about 8 months, which is faster. When you get nominated, you can then start calculating the processing time. And provincial nominees, standard way, without express entry, it takes around 14 months to get permanent residence. In the meantime, your family and yourself would have a status of a foreign worker on a work permit, and your children will get free education and free medical services, and so on. So it's a Canadian life that has started with work permit, which will end up with permanent residence in due course. And another aspect, another program that might be suitable for many South Africans is the ones who are designated for sports, arts, and business in the field of culture, business too. So designed for individuals with experience in cultural activities and athletics. Also, government takes economic benefit into the analysis, so you can run a business and be self-employed. Eligibility, you need to demonstrate experience and intention to be self-employed in Canada. That involves business plan, doing the whole research and whatnot. The benefits are opportunity to contribute to and thrive in Canada's rich cultural and sports sector. Sports is an important part of Canadian life, so if you are in sports or culture, this is one of the way to come to Canada. It's also available, as I said, for those who can bring significant economic benefit, not only athletic or cultural, but also economic benefit to Canada. There's a guidelines on our website on how to get to immigrate to Canada as a self-employed professional. Go and check that guidelines and it will give you more substance. This program may bring you permanent residence, but the processing time is very long, unfortunately. The PR processing time is very long. But therefore, it's better to start with work permit. You submit your PR, but then you apply for work permit, come to Canada, and start living the Canadian life while you wait for PR inside Canada. And another one, which is for multinational companies in South Africa, this is intra-company transfer program. Again, work permit program. This will bridge your South African business to your Canadian business, Canadian operations, and you can transfer certain people from South Africa to Canada to develop your Canadian or North American operations. This is a great way to enter North American market as an initial step. If you then believe that this is the market to be, that's a easier barrier to in terms of entry, and then you can decide further whether to expand further in the market or not. So intra-company transfer is perhaps one of the fastest that we've done in terms of business immigration from South Africa to Canada. There are several success stories that you can find on our website, again, at Sobirovs.com. The owner-operator LMIA is another one which has been modified recently in the past few years. It has been made a bit more challenging, I would say, but with the right advice, with the right legal strategy, you can achieve your desired results. I brought two facts here relevant to owner-operator. There's a huge succession plan issue in Canada. In January 2023, Canadian Federation of Independent Businesses found that 76% of Canadian owners of small and medium businesses, that employ from 1 to 500 employees, that's a small and medium in their terms, they plan to exit their businesses during the next decade. So in the next 10 years, there will be a massive retirement of business owners. So what does it give to you as an opportunity? If you're a South African entrepreneur and you want to do business, this could be a way to buy into the business in Canada, maybe on a partnership level, or fully buy in the business, because there are a lot of businesses that will be sold to a new owner in the near future. And back in 2017, Business Development Bank came up with the same report, very similar report. Close to 60% of Canada's small and medium business owners are age 50 or older, which means it's a nearly double the proportion of the overall workforce. 4 out of 10 entrepreneurs are likely to leave their businesses within the next 5 years. That was in 2017, so it is happening already as we speak. So this is a great opportunity for South African businesses to buy a good functioning and working businesses that are ready to exit. So if you want to find the right business for you, we have that service at Sobirovs.com. We will research, find the right business, and of course introduce you to the seller so that you can and we will help you to do some due diligence in advance. We have a section at Sobirovs.com under business and investment opportunities section. We regularly update those businesses for sale, and we work with business brokers across Canada. So if you need any help with business immigration, come to us, and we've been doing it for the last 10 plus years. We've seen many different scenarios and we've dealt them with great success. So our website, sobirovs.com, is the place to be. If you book an appointment with us, we will be happy to talk to you. Now we have your Q&A session, so stay tuned, start typing your questions, and I'll do my best to respond.
To stay updated on all things related to Canadian business immigration, check us out on social media. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter for the latest news and updates. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the notification bell to stay informed about the most recent immigration news, interviews with top immigration specialists, and our weekly live shows. Visit our website at www.sobirovs.com for more information or to book a consultation with our team of experts.
All right, we had questions that came before the live show today, and one is Shana Rafi. I received it on my phone. He or she is asking, my brother owns a mobile shop in Iran. I'm watching your videos for a while. I think he is eligible for either C10 or C11. He has already consulted with some immigration consultants and was told that C11 does not work anymore. Is it true? Well, to answer that question, we need to talk to your brother. It's if other professionals said something, they should have based their opinion on certain analysis or their own experience. We've been doing C11 since many years, and we've been doing it successfully. I don't know why they advised him that it doesn't work anymore with respect to his candidacy, I believe. And you asked, and how C10, how a mobile shop can bring significant benefit to Canada. So C10, the significant benefit analysis, is not about only the money invested. It's the impact to the local economy. We have a deep analysis of C10, C11, and C12 programs. If you open a mobile shop in Toronto, that significant benefit is almost zero, let's say, even if you invest in hundreds of thousands, let's say. But if you invest in a few, like 100 or 200,000 in a small rural area where there is a demand, and you hire one or two individuals, that could be considered significant in the Immigration Canada's analysis. So it depends where, what. If you go to Vancouver, which is very popular among Iranian entrepreneurs, opening a small shop in Vancouver with high real estate costs could not be considered a significant benefit. We've seen many federal court cases recently that people want to open something in Vancouver and they're originally from Iran, and their business plan is about $100,000, $200,000, which is unrealistic to run a business in the Vancouver area. So every analysis should be very tailored to that person's capacity, financial projections, financial capacity, and how much they can invest, and overall what they are trying to do, how much impact they have on the local economy where they will be located in Canada. So I suggest that you consult. Now they've consulted with immigration consultants. They should also have an opinion from immigration lawyers, business immigration lawyers, who have been doing it for many years. We are ready to consult your brother, but if he chooses to consult some other immigration lawyers, by all means, I think you need to do your own, he needs to do his own due diligence by consulting several parties and getting multiple opinions on that matter. Okay, any other questions? Let's see if we have any other questions. I think no questions. So any South Africans who are listening to me today, thank you for joining, and I hope this piece was informative and useful for you. If you have any questions, go to our website. This will be converted into guidelines, and we will publish detailed guidelines on how to immigrate from South Africa to Canada as an entrepreneur. Thank you for your participation. See you next week. Enjoy the rest of the week.